G'day everyone, welcome back to the channel. Well, as you can see by the silly hats, it's Christmas Day, so Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or whatever it is you say to each other. We're having a pretty good day so far. So, given this the time of year for sharing, we thought we'd take a break from building the frog and doing a few other things and just share our first 100 collection so far with you good people. And we'd also like to thank especially those of you who have subscribed so far. That's been really great. We really appreciate it. And please keep watching the videos. If you keep watching the videos, we'll keep making them. So let's get on with the collection and move on from there, I guess. Now, as most of you probably should already know, all of these cars are re-release cars. We don't have any original vintage cars as yet. There's a few cars in the first 100 collection that we're probably not going to have any choice but to try and find the originals, because we just can't replicate them like we have been doing with the rest of them. So anyway, enough talking. Let's get on with the collection. So this might be a bit of a lengthy video. We've got a few cars to go through. So yeah, grab your favourite drink, grab your favourite chair, sit back and relax. It is Christmas Day, so hopefully you've got everything out of the way and you've got a little bit of time to sit back and enjoy where we're at the moment. So first cab off the rank, we have the Rough Rider. Well, being the re-release, it's the Buggy Champ. This is a recent build. We did a video on the channel about it. Actually went into a bit of detail about the painting procedure. But this one turned out absolutely beautiful. It's the second SRB chassis that I've built. It's totally kit standard build with all the ball bearings that came with the kit, the standard 540 motor. Has no electronics as yet, doesn't even have a steering servo. We would like to eventually run every one of our cars. But cars such as these, being so pretty, they're probably only going to get a really light run and then put back on the shelf, and the electronics can be used on something else. Because I've never actually driven an SRB, so it'll be interesting to see how they actually perform or drive. As I understand, they don't really perform that well. So that's the first in our collection. Gorgeous Rough Rider. So next up, I was going to say this car needs no introduction. I think all of these cars don't need an introduction, really. If you're a Tamiya fan, you probably know exactly what all of these cars are. Obviously, the Sand Scorcher, again on the SRB chassis. First released in 1979, I think. Under part number, what was it? 5816. So Tamiya's 16th RC car. The Rough Rider we showed you before was actually 5815. I forgot to tell you the part number for that one. Again, the re-release cars have different part numbers. We'll put them up on the screen as we're going. But yeah, again, stock standard kit build. The painting on this car, as most people know, is quite difficult. Trying to get all the lines spot on without any bleed through any tapes. You probably can't see it from there, but there is quite a bit of bleed between the blue and the white. We used the Tamiya Racing white on this, not the pure white, and I think it made a big difference. It makes it look a bit more vintage, I think, even though it's got the and the driver just fell out. It's only double-sided. The driver's stuck on with double-sided tape, and you're in the middle of summer here, it gets quite hot, so stuff like that generally tends to fall apart. I'm not going to fix him up just yet. As I was saying, yeah, it's got all the re-release stickers on it, so it's not exactly vintage, but I think the colour just makes it look that much better. So that's our Sand Scorcher from 1979. Here he goes again. He wants that out. He wants to get out. Next up, we have one of our main runners, the re-release holiday buggy on the DTO2 chassis. Again, all fully ball raced. Pretty sure it's got a Hobby Wing 1060 ESC in there. Tamiya Sport Tune motor, gives it a little bit more up and go. It's not fast by any stretch of the imagination, but it is quite a lot of fun to drive and quite tough too. We have given it a fair bit of a flogging when we're driving around, and it seems to be holding up just fine. It's still got the friction shocks in it, nothing special there. I found they work fine, so I don't think I'm going to bother changing them. We did put a little bit of work into the driver figure because it had so much detail to start with the moulding of the plastic, so we thought we'd spend a bit of time on that. But apart from that, it's a box art paint scheme, and it's one of our regular runners. So that's our holiday buggy. So next up, one of the cars that's in line to get built over the Christmas holidays, hopefully. Fighting buggy, or originally known as the Super Champ. Super Champ? Yeah. Another SRB chassis, but it's the modified rear end suspension setup. As far as I understand, the chassis plates are a little different. It's got the exact same front suspension setup. The same gearbox and the same trailing arm rear suspension, but the actual suspension itself is a different setup. So I'm looking forward to building that setup. So unfortunately, that's all we can show of it for now until we build it. But that'll be another video. That'll be another video. So we look forward to that one. Next up, this could either be a frog or a Subaru Brat. It's actually the frog. We're halfway through building this. If you've been following along and watching the videos, you're actually seeing this built now in this video, but the actual build video won't finish until probably the end of the week. So here's a little sneak preview for you. We haven't painted the body yet. We've still got to cut the body out and do everything there, but chassis finished. We've had it running, had it for a little bit of a spin around under the house there. Everything works fine. Absolute pleasure to build, except right at the end we had a little bit of a drama with the electronics, but you'll see that in the build video. So, car number 41 anyway, in the first 100. Little Froggy. Another car that needs no introduction. I mean, what can you say about this thing? This is the car we built on the Box to Bash video. We still have our Shelf Queen Grasshopper that's waiting to be built, which will never be driven. This one is kind of our experimental car. What have we done so far? Is that we've locked the rear diff. We put the spike tyres on it. I've trimmed up the front steering rods to give it just a tiny little bit of toe out, and it actually does make it drive a lot better. It'll steer a lot better anyway. Excuse me. It's got the kit standard 380 motor in it. It's still pretty lively. Hobby Wing 1060, all 4 ball bearings. In the Box to Bash video, we got this car built in an hour and 20 minutes. That was out of the box it was delivered in and running on the track. Hour and 20 minutes, I thought that was pretty good. And that was a lot of fun. Fun video to make too. Now, something a bit interesting about the Grasshopper. So I just got my notes written down here. What did we find out? Well, it was released in 1984 and it ran until 1988. The re-release came out in 2005, and they've sold, as far as we could, all the research we've done, they've sold 1 million kits of just this car. And I don't know if that was the first run between 84 and 88, or if that includes the re-release as well. So, you see one of the other videos, I'm getting a little bit crook. There's change of seasons, I always get a little bit of a cold. My throat keeps drying up, sorry about that. And it's too early to have a beer yet. So, car number, what is it? 43. Car number 43. First 100 collection, and this is just a ball to drive. We've got the candy green edition as well, which is sadly been a little bit banged up, but that's running a sport tune motor, and that's got a little bit of sting to it actually. So we run them together, and it's just a ton of fun. It's a grasshopper.
So this car isn't actually a part of the first 100, but it does go next to the original grasshopper, the white one. This is a special edition grasshopper. We only really found that out because after we started damaging the body, we went to find another body, and they're sort of hard to get now.
So what have we done to it, mate?
Well, we've added a couple of the pop-ups that you can find on eBay, oil-filled shocks, which still aren't great, but they're better than what they used to. Used to have the friction shocks. Put the Hornets, what are they? The axle mounts, are they?
Axle mounts, yeah.
Axle mounts, so that it could do this. Grasshopper does not do that. It's got a sport tune motor, makes it go pretty lively. It's got 25 kilo servo. Got these spiked tyres from the Hornet and Frog, whatever else they're on, and they've got nice, pretty green anodized rims, which aren't very pretty when they're dirty.
Aluminium rims too.
Aluminium, yeah.
Aluminium. Actually look really good. Actually did a bit of a speed run with this. What did we get out of it?
26.8.
26.8 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not too bad for a grasshopper.
Mm-hmm.
Incidentally, that's when the damage happened. There, again, not a part of the first 100, but still one of our main runners and a lot of fun to drive. So next up, car number 44 in the first 100, the Mitsubishi Pajero. I'd like to say all the cars that we own are my favourites, but this one I have a bit of a soft spot for. Again, not the original. We built it out of the kit number
58727.
where did I come into? Oh yeah, 58727, which is the red Mitsubishi Pajero, the CW01 chassis that had all the raised features, the same as the lunchbox and the Indite pumping. With these skinny little rims and tyres on it. Incidentally, the same tyres that came out on the Highlip F250. The body came moulded in red, so that took a long time to prime and paint in white to try and cover up all the red, but it turned out alright. Stickers are from MCI Racing, and they were interesting to apply, to say the least. It did take a while. Just for a bit of fun, I've mounted a mechanical speed controller in there. It's not hooked up, and it's running the wires for the resistor down the back, just for a bit of a nostalgia look. It is ready to run. It's servo speed control. I think it's most probably a Hobby Wing 1060. Pretty much run them in all of our cars these days. We actually have a separate video on this, what we actually did with it. So if you want to check that out for a bit more information, we'll put up a link. One thing I didn't say in that video, we mounted a 380 motor instead of the 540. Because when we do run this, it'll be run very lightly. But when we do run it, I didn't feel it needed that much power. Like the power of the 540, the 380 is fine. It's good enough for what it is. So, one of my favourites, Mitsubishi Pajero. Next up, another one we haven't built yet, but hopefully we're going to get to it over the Christmas break. Fast attack vehicle. We were going to build this instead of the Frog, but we still haven't bought the paints or the airbrush, because I really do want to do all the airbrush work for the military colours, and we're going to actually paint it in Australian military colours, just to be a little bit different. But originally this was car number 46. Not a lot I can tell you about it because we haven't built it yet, but that's coming up soon on the channel, so watch out for that. So one of the cars that was a favourite of mine when I was a kid, although I never owned one, a friend of mine did, I think. Of course, the Hot Shot. Now this one is a little bit worse for the wear. You can see it hasn't got a front shock on it. This one I actually bought back in 2007, I think, 2006, 2008, something like that. There's a bit of a story behind this one. You can go back to one of our previous videos if you want to hear that story. But basically, it needs a bit of love. It needs some parts replaced on it. It doesn't have a motor, doesn't have electronics, servo, nothing. It's missing the steering arms. There's not a lot of work to get it going again, but we are going to eventually fix it up so that we can get it back out on the track and get it running again. We are going to buy another hot shot just to keep on the shelf and have it nice and pretty, because this red isn't actually the box art red. From memory, the shop at the time didn't have the proper red, so this is the closest I could find. It still looks right. It's filthy too. It's been sitting under the cupboard for 17 years. So yeah, that's our hot shot. It's in the sick bay, ready to get fixed up. So next up, car number 50. I'm going to say 41 then, that's the problem. Car number 50 in the first 100. Obviously the wild one. Again, this one's completely kit stock except for ball bearings. We run ball bearings in all our cars whenever we can. It's got the stock 540 motor. All the electronics are in there. It's ready to run. Just plug in a battery and off you go. This is a lot of fun to drive. Doesn't handle quite as well as I thought it would, but it's a vintage design Tamiya buggy, and none of them really drive that well, do they? But oil-filled shocks on these. The fronts are really nice. The rears could do with a bit of adjusting. Driver painted up quite nice. The black, we didn't go with the straight black. That's actually metallic black. You can't really see it in this light, but out in the sun it really does look nice. Actually, it wasn't metallic black, was it? It was we sprayed pearl clear on the this is the polycarbonate body. Sprayed pearl clear first, and then the straight PS5 black over that, and it just turned out beautiful, I think. So that's our wild one. Next up, car number 51. I think everybody can agree, one of the sexiest Tamiya buggies ever built. A lot of people call it the Hot Shot's sexy sister. Just with the blue and the gold, the silver, everything just comes together so nice, so nice. Again, complete stock kit build with ball bearings, stock 540 motor. Again, we went with a metallic blue, not the straight. I think it's supposed to be PS4, the solid blue. Metallic blue just sets it off with the gold rims, I reckon. We have driven it. Sadly, there's a couple of tiny scratches on the gold rims. Again, we like to run all our cars. Not many of them are going to be shell queens. We don't run this very often. We ran it a couple of times just after we first built it, and it went over on its roof once, I think. I thought, no, it's a fresh build, that's enough. We'll get it out again one day. But, nice car to drive, a beautiful car to look at. That's our Nova Fox, I should say. There's got to be a story behind why they changed the name. Maybe Fox Racing had something to do with it, maybe, I don't know, that's speculation. Don't take my word for it. But yes, the Nova Fox. Beautiful car. Next up, we have another classic, the Blackfoot, or as we like to call it, the Bling Foot. We swapped out the gold rims from the Monster Beetle. We are going to eventually buy another set of gold rims so that we can put them back on the Monster Beetle, because it does look good with the gold rims. Fun car to drive. Again, one of those cars we've only driven a couple of times. Surprisingly, it handles so much better than the Monster Beetle, even though it's pretty much exactly the same car. I understand that, but yeah, again, stock standard build. This one doesn't, it has a servo, but doesn't have any of the electronics in it, so it doesn't really run right now. we are aiming to have every single car in our collection ready to run, ready to put a battery in and just take it out for a spin. We're not quite there yet, so every time we want to drive a car, we have to swap a couple of things out, but we'll get that. So, not much else to say about this car except for what it is. We painted it with metallic black, which turned out to be like a satin finish, actually, not gloss. I could have gone back and done a clear coat over the top, but I think it looks pretty good the way it is. The driver, we actually found out in the paddock one day years ago. We actually found a little Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toy. Ninja Turtle toy. Still haven't had a beer yet. You've got the blue bandana. So which one's he? Leonardo? I don't know. A little bit after my era of watching cartoons. So we stuck his head on. We'll give you a close up of that. And I don't know, just gives it a bit of a different look, I think. So yeah, Blackfoot number 58 in the collection, and again one of the favourites. We love it. Next up, we have Tamiya Royalty, or at least it would be if it was an original one. We can't afford that. This one, we got a few videos on this one actually. Built using the MF01X chassis. We actually built this up for the Poor Boys RC Speedrun Challenge, as a few of you probably know. We didn't do too bad, a little bit better than we thought. 41 something, 41.3 something mile an hour, which I thought wasn't too bad. We ended up running, hasn't got a motor at the moment. We did install a BZ motor, and that started to feel a bit clunky. So we got to look into that and see what we go with. We ended up putting a LRP 12 turn double in it, which got it scooting along pretty nice. So L&L models, 959 body, the MCI decals. When it was finished, it's got a bit of road rash now, but when it was finished, it did look really, really pretty. The Lexan wing, I've still got it up on the shelf there. It keeps falling off, but it's only double-sided tape. But we are going to get the hard plastic wing painted and mounted on so that we can finish that gold stripe. That's all it needs to finish. The wheels are from a Lancia 037 Rally. The tyres, rally block tyres from Suzuki Jimny, I believe. It has option 1 oil-filled shocks, alloy high torque turbo saver, and again the 25 kilo Banggood special servo. Works great. Apart from that, that's about it. And again, one of my favourites. It's one of the cars that I'm probably never ever gonna own the original. Hopefully one day, come on Lotto. But for now, this is going to stand in this place, and we really like it. Next up is the sister to the Blackfoot, Monster Beetle. I'm calling it the sister to the Blackfoot. As you can see, we got the Blackfoot rims on it. Like I said, we're going to replace them with the gold rims one day. Yeah, this body, I haven't actually attached the sunroof. Still haven't decided what to do with that yet. But it's all painted in the TS8 Italian red. Came up really nice, and it's actually pretty dusty now. Probably should have cleaned these cars before this video, but we kind of ran out of time. And again, completely stock build, stock 540 motor. I didn't see any point putting any faster motor than that in it. This has all the radio gear in it still. So yeah, we can just pop a battery in this and go for a spin. Fun car to drive. Like I said, it doesn't handle quite as well as the Blackfoot for some reason. Might be the actual tyres, the spike tyres might have something to do with that, I don't know. But the suspension itself does seem better on the Blackfoot for some reason. I don't know. But, yes, detail painting was actually a bit trickier than I thought. I thought just being one solid colour, it'd be nice and straightforward and easy. But we ended up using, we got this, what's that, Molotov I don't know, chrome, liquid chrome paint pen. We do a lot of the chrome finishing accents on our bodies with that chrome paint pen. So we come along and did the drip rail over the windows and this chrome trim, and also the door handles. We ran around the windows in the flat black, again with a paint pen, same brand. These are really good actually. That's about it. And the key feature of this particular car, this is the reason why Zach does all the decals from now on. We'll get a close up of this, you can't see from there. I actually put the number plate sticker upside down on the front. I thought that was going to set a bit of a trend, but yeah, luckily it didn't. So, that is our Monster Bear. Another great car to drive. Okay, next up, we have the lunchbox, obviously. As you can see, it's not painted in box art. This and the Midnight Pumpkin we actually bought about 3 years ago, way before we decided to start off with the huge, expensive collection. And we just wanted to go with something different. As you can see, the steering servo isn't hooked up at the moment because I'm halfway through doing a steering modification with the mounting of the steering servo, which is going to be another video for you guys. Also, as you can see, it is filthy. This and the Midnight Pumpkin are two of our most regular runners, I guess you'd say, and they get beat up quite a bit. Running a sport tune motor, again Hobbywing 1060 ESC, pretty common in all our cars now, and I've fitted the CVA shocks that came with the Pajero that we used to build the 044 Pajero tribute car. And it did two things. One, obviously it handles a lot better, and two, they actually ended up a little bit shorter than the original spring, so it actually sat the car down a little bit, which again made it handle a little bit better than standard. So we are going to get, when they eventually come back into the country, there hasn't been one available in Australia for a fair while now. We're going to get another one and paint it up box art, and that'll just live on the shelf. That'll be a shelf queen. It won't be run. There's no point because we've got this little baby to bash around the yard. So, on to the next one. The next up we have this behemoth. Yes, everybody's favourite monster truck, the mighty Clodbuster. Again, not an original. We have got a couple of videos on this build. We started off with the Black Edition Clodbuster, simply because it had all the red accents with the shocks and the bumper bars and all that sort of stuff. Obviously came with a black body, so we had to go right through and prime everything and get this beautiful PSA Italian red on it. Decals from MCI. Somebody driving past, hello. We haven't yet fixed this atrocious grille that comes out on the Clodbusters with all the re-releases. We are looking at that. We are going to get, not an original one, probably a, or if one comes up cheap enough, we'll get an original one. But most probably a 3D printed one. And paint it up, and then that'll be complete. The good thing about the Black Edition kit, and I'm pretty sure the blue is the same and the grey, you still get the original injector hat that was on the original Clod. I thought it was pretty cool. There was one less part we had to find. It's running obviously two, but two torque tune motors, makes it get up and boogie pretty nice. And it's also got a 42 kilo servo in the standard position. I didn't want to go with the diff mounted servos simply because I wanted to keep this front bar all intact and looking nice. Pretty sure there's 3D printed mounts you can use to retain these bars, but we got enough money into these Clodbusters already. I say Clodbusters because there's two of them. So I didn't really want to go forking out too much more money just to have better steering in a car that, quite frankly, drives and handles not too bad, actually, contrary to what everybody says. The rims, we just stripped the chrome in some bleach, sat it in the bleach overnight, stripped all the chrome off, had them a good clean, sanded them up, and painted them with, I can't tell you what colour white that is because this is actually an automotive spray can. Alpine white rings a bell. It could have been something else, I don't know. But they turned out to look pretty close to what we saw in all the photos. All ball bearings, of course. The ESC is the original one that came with the kit. There's a box up there. Hang on, I'll get the box. There's one. This is the one that came with the Black Edition kit, the TEU-201BK. It says not to run anything under a or a lower turn than 27 turn motors.
23.
As far as we know, these torque tunes are 23 turn. It hasn't had a problem yet. We've run these cars quite a few times and they seem to be holding up. Pretty cool. They come with a fan too, cooling fan. Some nice stuff. So yeah, that is our original Clod tribute car, which looking through the original Clod manual, we haven't got the original, we downloaded it. Apart from a couple of extra bracing parts in the chassis, the rest of the kit is identical to the re-release. So really don't understand why Tamiya hasn't re-released the original red Modbuster. They don't need to put the bow tie on the grille, the Chevrolet on the tailgate. They can keep all those mouldings the same, but I don't understand why they haven't done a red one yet. They've done a blue one, a grey one, and a chrome one, I think, and the Black Edition. So come on, Tamiya, re-release the red one so we don't have to go to all this trouble. Okay, so getting towards the end of it now, guys. Only a couple to go. Obviously, we have a Midnight Pumpkin. Obviously, again, not box art. We are going to source another Midnight Pumpkin and paint it up in the beautiful black and blue flame box art paint job. And again, keep it on the shelf right next to the box art lunchbox that we're going to do, because I reckon they need to go together. Again, all standard, all ball bearings, except again sport tune motor. They just drive really nice with the sport tune motors. Still got the pogo sticks on it. We haven't got around to putting the CVAs in. It does have, however, the aluminium aftermarket body mounts, because obviously the plastic ones broke pretty much straight away. So that should help out there. Again, this might even have a Tamiya speed controller in it. I'm not too sure. Yeah, all ball bearings again. Yeah, one of our regular runners and really fun to drive around. I'll actually put up a picture of the Midnight Pumpkin. Was the first Tamiya car that I ever owned. It was also the first RC car that I ever actually paid for out of my own money. I want to say when I was 15 or 16 years old, I can't really remember. So I'll put up a picture of that one. It's not a very good photo because you've got to remember back in the mid to late 80s, you know, we didn't have these things in our pocket like we do now, and the camera quality wasn't very good. So the poor photos is pretty grainy, but you get the idea. There's a custom paint scheme and that was about it. And I drove that car like a normal 15-year-old kid would drive one of these cars. And inevitably it just fell apart. I can't even remember what happened with it, with the body or the chassis, or I might have gave it to a mate or something. I don't know. Again, 25 kilo steering servo. That really helps. And this one, just like the lunchbox, we're going to do the steering servo mod, just to make it handle that a little bit better. So on to the last and my least favourite. Now I know this car does have a bit of love from some people, and each to their own. You know, I've never liked it. the paint scheme, the shape of the body. I've seen people do other paint schemes on these bodies with different wheels and tyres and stuff, and they don't look too bad. But it's in the first 100, so we simply just had to have it. And they're cheap, so yeah, all stock. Pretty sure. I don't know why, but we put ball bearings all through it. I think that was Zach's decision, because this is never going to get run. I don't see the point. This is another reason why. I'm pretty sure I haven't built anything wrong. It's just a matter of opening up these holes a bit. Everything's greased up, everything's done properly, but you press down. It's not doing it now, I'm making a lie around. Every now and then it just gets stuck. Still got the 380 motor in it. You can see, not hooked up, no electronics. Yeah, it has the servos, just a little cheapy servo just to keep the wheels straight. Oh, I forgot all about that. It's actually got a pair of frog rear dampers on it, rear oil shocks on it. No idea why I did that. I think I just had them laying around and I put them in. So that is our Grasshopper 2 shelf queen. The body painted in nice. It's the TS26 white, but with a pearl clear coat over it. And again, you can't see it here, but out in the sun, it really does look nice. It's the nicest looking thing on the car. So I couldn't end that video on the Grasshopper 2 on a car that I really don't like. Obviously not in the first 100, but we like to run our cars together as with similar cars, you know. So we built a red one, and we had to have another quad. So another black edition, totally standard, except ball bearings, the torque tune motors. It's built exactly the same way as the red one. Really not much to say about this one, but this is the end of the video for you guys. So we hope you enjoyed it, and remember, it's Christmas Day. Enjoy the festivities, however you like to spend the day. Please be careful on the roads. Drink responsibly. Drink responsibly. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's a drink. Could be some kind of liqueur or something. Drink responsible. Don't drink and drive. Don't be a bloody idiot. All right. Enjoy the time. Enjoy the time with your family. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next video, whichever one that may be. Merry Christmas.